Hey guys, welcome back. Larry, Snake River Fly, tying up the latest and greatest. Quick little one. You guys are going to like this. Big nymph hook from Matsu, I think, on this one. Big old, what is that bead, Brandon?
4.6.
4.6 bead on this thing.
Tungsten.
MFC tungsten. And then, of course, we're rocking some classic waxed in chartreuse. Anyway, this is just a really cool one that we fish a lot this time of year when water drops. We love, dry line streamer fishing when we can. And this jig hook has really kind of changed it for us and really helped tie that smaller bug that we like to fish down in southeastern Idaho and get it down real quick in a lot of little pockets, that kind of stuff. We're not talking big South Fork swinging rivers and stuff like that, but just a smaller fly. It's more realistic, true minnow imitation for our area. And we tie these in a bunch of different ones. It's pretty much a knockoff of MFC's Chicago Overcoat, but we're not using dubbing for the body, and this one ties a little quicker. And anyway, it seems to be working a little better for us. So I've got my hook set up here. I think we're rocking a size 8. We got the beads 4.6. And I've already got everything set up in the vise and the Renzetti. And I'm just going to come to the back, and basically we're just going to tie like a marabou, two-tone marabou bugger, thin mint, to get it started. But a little cooler, a little flashier, and a little faster to tie. So just got some olive marabou. I like to do that same length as a shank on this one. Same length. And started with my thread right above the barb. Do that on purpose. We want a good thread base. These materials, with a bunch of action on a fly like this, going to get ate a bunch. You need to have a thread base on that deal, or on these kind of flies, or they'll tend to slide off the back. I was just fishing with a buddy the other day. He's like, man, I got these really cool flies that I bought from such and such. And man, I love them. But the problem is everything, the whole fly after a few fish starts sliding off the back. And a lot of times that's just folks skipping that step, putting a thread base down. So basically, boom, all right, got a cool little marabou tail rocking off the back of that. Like I said, this is gonna ride like so, but it's easier to tie it. This will be the bottom. This will be the top. So we tie in our dark color first, and then we'll take and put in a little white down here. These are imitating the juvenile trout that, the rainbow spawned in our neck of the woods sometime from March to June. So we've got a lot of juvenile rainbow trout, hybrid trout, which are cutthroat rainbow. A lot of other bait fish will have the little bit of olive to them just because they've been hanging out and living in the margins all summer long, in the grass, so they tend to kind of be the same color. What we've done is just basically did a two-tone little jig with marabou, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take about 8 inches of our barbed elastic cord. This one's in dark olive. Comes in a bunch of other colors. I'll show you some of those. Just a cool one-step, stretchy, synthetic hackle. But the cool thing is it stretch. Most of the time, a lot of these newer materials that you're seeing, the synthetic materials that are transferring over from other industries, their limits are with the core. The core on a lot of that stuff is pretty big. Cool thing about the elastic core that we found is it's pretty stretchy, and we can manipulate it a little bit more like a natural material because it does stretch. So like a foam, or which isn't a natural material, but a dub body or that stuff like that. You have a little bit of play with this, so I can pull it pretty tight here in the bottom end, and just like the old school hackle trick, to wind hackle or to wind thread through hackle, you would wiggle it back and forth. That's a good way to do it, you know. You could comb this back every turn. You know, it depends on what kind of effect you want to get with this barbed elasticor. If I twist it less, it'll be flatter and slimmer, you know, and maybe not as much buildup on these little fibers. If I twist it more, I'll tend to get, you know, give it a little twist over there. I can really build it up and create that bump, right? If I want to do something that has some true segmenting in it. So it's really cool, especially for like quick damsels, thin mints, anything like that. Just super easy to play with. You know, and then if you have a rotary vise, I won't put a whip finish in this. I'll just run my thread long. You know, and you can wiggle it back here a little bit or whatever you want to do, and then just spin the vise. The Traveler's awesome for that. So just working my way up to the front. I'm going to leave a little bit of room up here. We're going to add a little bit of laser leg action, just like that Chicago overcoat. I don't know. That fly, we carry MFC here at the shop for sure on flies, and that Chicago overcoat in our neck of the woods the last couple years has really been an awesome bug. So we've kind of tweaked it, of course, a little bit to our own liking. You know, using some of our junk, and you know, the elasticor works perfect for it. So pretty simple bug. Now we're just going to add the little kick that we like. We're talking baby rainbow trout, baby hybrid trout. You know, spots on those things are relatively prevalent, especially on the young ones. So we just use our laser legs in golden stone. And what we'll do is we'll tie on the bottom, which is really the top, the way the hook interface has worked. And then I'll just find 2 pieces, cut them to the length I want, you know, basically a full grab, and then hold them just a little off center. So when I tie it in on my side, I'm leaving room to tie it off, plus a little bit to wrap it over. And what I'll do is just kind of like give it like a, I don't know, C collar or something like that, and come over the top of that and trap it like so. We do this on our bass beetle too, and that gives you that kind of cool springy angle. Redfish guys is basically where we kind of got that idea from, and they tie a lot of their shrimp patterns in like that to get that rubber leg to set like that. So and we'll just go ahead and whip it off. I've got it upside down, but mostly that's just because I've been watching myself some Stranger Things. Just finished season 4. I know y'all like that. Pretty crazy little movie, but had that fly on the upside down. And tying it inverted like that, you just have to remember that your bottom is the top and your top's the bottom. Anyway, little cool Chicago overcoat SRF style. Kind of cut these guys just a little bit shorter than the tips. If you keep them long in the tips, they tend to grab that, and when you pull your fly out sometimes it's all mucked up. You know, if your rubber legs are the same length as your marabou tips, you might be de-goobing for a while. So, you know, I'm not saying it wouldn't fish great that way, but a little cleaner to cut them about midway where you got a little bit of support on your marabou still. You're still getting the attractiveness, but you just won't goob up as much. Anyway, tying this one in, I don't know, 4 different colors now. Can't keep them in the bins. Super cool bug, you know, the SRF overcoat or something like that. Check this one out. Materials are super simple, really easy bug to tie, effective everywhere. Appreciate it.